Well, it's about time we had a game like that. But, that's not luck. It comes from hard work. That's something that we've been harping on, from day one of the entire season. We've had periods. We've had two, almost even 3 periods of hockey. But that was a good game tonight. The guys played well. And it wasn't necessarily the finish and stuff like this. It was the fact that we had all the chances. And that came from the hard work. That came from the forecheck. It came from everybody buying in and playing a selfless game. And, we need more of that if we're going to move up the standings. But it was good.
That's the type of performance we need and we expect out of our club. We've talked about it since Wednesday. I mean, that game finished on Wednesday down in Nottingham. Got eliminated from the cup. As soon as the game was over, we said, okay, boys, put it behind us. We focused on what we got to do. This next stretch coming up is huge. And, we did a lot of preparation this week, and we had a meeting before the game. And you know what? Guys came out and they executed the game plan. But more importantly, every single guy showed up. And executing the game plan is one thing, but you need every single guy to come in and show up and compete. And that's what we did. We were physical. We wanted to get pucks in behind their D and go after them and be physical, and we did. And we played with energy, so that was the difference. We didn't get lulled in their style of game, and we played our own game, and we benefited from it.
We've been struggling, and we've been up and down. So when this team's hot, I want to keep them hot, and we kept going. It was a nice little touch to get Blair in there some minutes. He got a nice response from the crowd, and Blair's been doing a pretty thankless job for us. He's only been in there a handful of minutes for us this season, so it was good to see him get in. It was good to see that third line I was particularly pleased with tonight. I think Stephen Gunn was kind of doing the skating that Steve McAlpine kind of usually does, and after they had that first shift, it kind of energized the whole team. Like, we came out with 3 good shifts from all 3 lines, and made a big difference, and that really kind of changed the momentum of the game, and it was it was good to see the guys play that good tonight.
We went to the dirty areas. I don't know the exact number, but we had Jim doing stats in our shots. I mean, the amount of shots we had in the grade A areas and right in front of the net, and we had 4 or 5 goals in that area. And you go to dirty areas, and that's the difference. But I think the main thing was playing with energy and playing physical, and not getting into their style of game, which we have done in the past. Here and there, but we've been successful against Edinburgh all season, but obviously not to this extent. But definitely the physicality of the game and us playing with energy and going after them.
I don't know. I'm up and down. My predecessor used to have the same problems as me. I think it's the recovery. You'll probably see Chris Hogg doing a moonwalk or something tomorrow. He'll be in good shape and ready to go, and I'll be walking around in my Zimmer frame and struggling. But when I feel good, and. I have like the last couple months put in a couple decent performances. It's frustrating not to be able to do everything that you used to do, and probably a number of factors involved in that. But if I can contribute on that second line, then that's great. And I mean, it's a bit of fun out there. You put a puck in it. I think I might have celebrated like it was a Stanley Cup or something. But when they don't come as much as they used to, you're happy for every goal. So I enjoyed it, and it was I'm doing all right out there, getting involved and having fun. Pay for it the next day though.
I feel bad because I've been so used to not playing him. Nothing against Blairsy, he's a good solid backup in this league, and Pitts has been so solid for us. And it was actually a couple of the guys that came up to me and said, Pitts actually skated over the bench and was like, why don't you put Blairsy in? And right away it was a no-brainer, but Pitts is usually the kind of guy that wants to finish the games, but it was good for him to do that, and I'm glad he did, because he gets so caught up in the game. I didn't even think of it, to be honest with you. So it was good to get him in there, get him a few shots, and he is unfortunately we haven't got him in as much as we would have liked this year, but when he has gone in, he's done a good job. The 2 games he's got in, he's made some saves and hasn't really let much in, so it's good to see him get in there and get a chance.
But mixed on both sides. I mean, I think that the travel has certainly helped us out. We're not getting worn out by the very difficult travel that was last season. And it's been okay. It's allowed this hockey club to get some big wins. I mean, and really focus on. They don't come up here that often. They only come up here twice. So you can really focus on those games and really, try to put in an extra special performance against them. It's difficult to compete against the Southern teams night in, night out. It's very difficult. It's a little bit of another level sometimes. But at home we have a little bit of advantage being in this building, and the guys definitely do get up for it. So the conference system has been, it's been it's kept the league pretty tight, and things aren't run away. Like certainly our conference, I mean, you know, Bray had to continue the good form, and Dundee are looking dangerous. But you know, at one point there last week, it looked like a team could finish either in first place or last place. So that's a good competitive conference.
And it's exciting for everybody. I mean, I can't imagine a fan would say they're not excited right now. I mean, from top to bottom in our conference, there's what 6-7 points separating, you know, and it's going to be an exciting finish. These conference games are I mean, they're huge all year long, and I've said it before, but this time of year, I mean, they're massive. I mean, yeah, like I said before, you could have one good weekend and a team have an off weekend, and you know, you create a gap for yourself. So, but you know what? Tonight's a great win. Guys got to enjoy the win, but we got a big game tomorrow, and that's a place we got to go into, and we have to have the same performance from each individual. We can't have 8 guys show up or 5 guys show up or 10 guys. We got to have everyone show up for 60 minutes, and that's the main thing we need to do.
Be absolutely delighted to have Casey Haynes in the lineup next week, and I know he wanted to be in the lineup this weekend, and we, on the advice of our medical team, we said no, we're not jeopardizing your long-term health or having you for the rest of the season. It was a difficult decision to make because we knew how important this weekend was, but if he keeps progressing like he has been, and he has physio 2 more times, I would like to think that there's a good chance we'll have Casey Haynes in the lineup for next weekend. But that's me being, I don't know, slightly hopeful. But I think that on the advice we're getting, that it's a distinct possibility. So we'll take that. As far as another guy goes, I told you that we are constantly on the outlook for a guy. And you know, we identified a few guys that we liked. But it's pretty slim pickings this time of year. Everybody's scrambling around. Other deadlines are in Europe or tomorrow, and you know, guys are scrambling around for teams. So we hope we fall into an ideal situation where the right guy becomes available. And you know, I think it's my opinion. I think that the directors have certainly warmed up to our thoughts on another guy coming in. If I present the right guy on a plate, I would hope that wouldn't be a problem. I think we're going to make this push. We have to be serious about it, and you know, you can see what happens if you do lose a guy or a guy gets suspended or whatever. We do get a little thinner, and we have to be able to absorb an injury because this is when the business end of the season, and teams are going to be going for conferences and leagues and cups and all this, and they're not going to let up anymore. So it's going to be I think we'll see different teams coming into Fife because it's tight all over. So you know, guys do get hurt and stuff like that. I don't like seeing it, but it happens, and we don't want to jeopardize our position just strictly for a numbers game. We're already out 3 or 4 guys, and a few guys playing through injuries, so we need a little help.